Today's topic is types of communication. We can communicate different ways. It will be depends on the message and context. Communication will be classified based on four categories. They are basis of relationship or receivers, basis of channels, basis of purpose or style, basis of direction. Basis of relationship or receivers, the communication will be classified into four types. They are intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, group communication, and mass communication. Basis of channels, the communication will be classified into two types. They are verbal and non-verbal communication. Basis of purpose or style, the communication will be classified into two types. They are formal and informal communication. Basis of direction, the communication will be classified into three types. They are vertical communication, lateral or horizontal communication, diagonal communication. Now, let's discuss about one by one. Intrapersonal communication. It means the communication inside an individual, like conversing within oneself, praying to God, reading newspaper, saying like oh my God, thank God, etc. Kindly note down the keywords, it will be helpful for examination. Next one is interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is also called as dyadic communication, which means communication between two individuals. In this communication, both can send and receive the messages. It may be formal or informal, verbal or non-verbal. Interpersonal communication is an effective form of communication because they receive the feedbacks immediately. Due to the proximity, the interpersonal communication has emotional appeal too. Proximity means physical space between the individuals. Next one is group communication. Group communications are common in day-to-day life. It will be the extension of interpersonal communication. According to Baker, 5 to 7 members is the best size for interaction and greatest efficiency in the group communication. In group communication, the leader should be task-oriented and maintain the rules. Next one is mass communication. Mass communication is also denoted as mediated communication. Mass communication covers large audience and the message will be transmitted through electronically like TV or mechanically like newspapers. The collection of crowded individuals are heterogeneous in nature. Heterogeneous means peoples from different background, they have different opinion. Mass communication helps to build a public opinion and circulate the government policies. Mass communication have four main functions. They are provide informations, entertain and educate the people, and the final function is persuade. Persuade means publication of ads in that media. Next one is verbal communication. In verbal communication, verbal means use of words in the communication process. It can be done by the words of mouth or a piece of writing. Verbal communication was further classified into two types. They are oral and written communication. In oral communication, verbally expressed words are utilized. Face-to-face conversation, speech, telephonic conversation, video, radio, television, and voice over the internet are some examples of oral communication. Oral communication can be influenced by pitch, volume, rate, and clarity of speaking. In written communication, written signs and symbols both in printed and handwritten form can be used. Pictures, graphs are used to complement the written text. Written communication can be influenced by writing skill, knowledge of grammar, and the way of presentation. Oral and written communication have some advantages and disadvantages. Now, let's point out the advantages and disadvantages of oral communication. The advantages are spontaneous in nature, easy to understand, Communicator always physically available. It will help to develop a close relationship. It can be supported by non-verbal communication. The disadvantages are the words are not permanent. It will be forgotten easily. The use of non-verbal communication may affect the communication process. Now, let's point out the advantages and disadvantages of written communication. Advantages are it has objectivity, it can be edited and revised, it will provide automatic record, the receiver fully understand the message that helps to send the appropriate feedback. The disadvantages are no spontaneous feedback, it will take more time. Next one is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication means sending and accepting the silent messages. Non-verbal communication is the process of communication through sending and receiving the wordless messages like body language, body gestures, eye contact, tone of voice, facial expressions, and so on. Non-verbal communication helps to the receivers for better understanding and interpretation of the message. Non-verbal communication have three elements. They are appearance, body language, and sound. They have 7 categories. They are paralinguistic, which means vocal communication that is separated from actual language. This includes tone of voice, loudness, pitch, and volume. Kinesics, they are body signals like gestures, eye contact, facial expressions, and so on. Haptics, haptics is the study of touch. It means communication through touch, like handshakes. Phonemics is a linguistic ability. It will be help to differentiate the one word from another word in particular language. Dressing and appearance is the one of the category of non-verbal communication. Next one is chromatics, which means communication through colors like color of cloth. And the final one is iconic. It is used to express the words by icons. For example, we use emojis like express the different feelings, crying, sad, happy, and so on. Next one is vertical communication. It is basically formal type of communication. Vertical communication classified into two types. They are upward and downward communication. Upward communication means the information or message will be transferred from lower level of people to higher level of people. For example, the information will be transferred from student to the staff, then forwarded to the HODs, and then finally forwarded to the principal. The next one is downward communication. It's just opposite to the upward communication. The information will be transferred from higher level of people to lower level of people. Like the information will be passed from principal to the students. Next one is lateral communication. It means communication within the same level of people, like teacher to teacher, students to students. It can be both formal and informal. Lateral communication helps to build teams. It is one of the effective form of communication. Next one is diagonal communication. Diagonal communication is a combination of vertical and horizontal communication. In this communication, the information or message will be free flow in nature. Diagonal communication helps to build a relationship between superior and subordinate. Next type of communication is formal communication. In formal communication, certain rules and regulations and protocols are followed while formulating and communicating the message. It follows organizational structure. It can be upward or downward communication. Formal communication required to use of right language and correct pronunciation. And the last type of communication is informal communication. It will be happened among the friends and family members. There is no hierarchy followed in this communication method. In informal communication, there is no rules and regulations will be followed. It will be denoted as grapevine. Thank you for watching this video.